up, everyone? This is Jacob. I'm here with Jasiel, a teammate from Team Kitchen Fable, and we're going to be presenting a matchup of class constructed Rhinar versus Bravo. This matchup goes all the way back to Welcome to Rathe, but we have lots of new toys from the new set on both sides. I haven't played Rhinar nearly as much as I've played Bravo, so I'm still learning this, but Jasiel has been playing Bravo for a while, so let's see if he crushes me. For this matchup, I'm going to be focusing on the basics, just like the Guardian matchups as well. Maybe that's the Guardian player in me, but I'm going to be keeping defense reactions in Arsenal when it's necessary, just getting value damage through and making sure I'm blocking damage when I don't have huge turns. And then, yeah, just keeping the defense reacts around. I'm playing more of a defensive Rhinar list. I have lots of defense reactions in the deck. As far as the cards I'm taking out Pulping. It's a very nice aggressive card, but it does not block, and I don't want to get caught with a non-blocker against Bravo. Taking out Heart of Final for the same reason. Arc Smash is there for dash, and Bonehead Barrier is not needed as well. It's kind of expensive, but it's nice against heroes like Kano. So the deck list I'm running is based on a YouTuber called Yazi, and he's got Sink Belows, Fate for Scenes, and Springboard Somersaults in here, so it can definitely be very defensive. And for that game plan, I'm running clubs, so I'm going to be grinding him down with my club, and he's going to be grinding down with the Yanothos, and every once in a while we're going to go for some big plays. I'm not running Gambler's Gloves because the damage off of Goliath Gauntlet, especially paired with Command and Conquer, is a pretty nice threat. And I don't necessarily want to be running rolling Scabskin Leathers at all this game. Hasiel, do you want to say anything about how you're going to approach the matchup and then some cards you're taking out?
Yeah, I think approaching this matchup, I'll pretty much be going about it similarly. Optimally blocking. Um, I did decide though to take out like staunches and so forth. Zealous as well. The staunches I took out mainly just because it can be that awkward kind of block that rips your hand apart, and with Rhinar, he will rip your hand apart. And so I think that would have been good not to be kind of stuck in those awkward positions. And foremost, Zealous I thought about keeping in, but decided ultimately not to, just because I think having something like Yellow Disable to power up some cards like Rouse, which are in this matchup, would kind of help out and dealing pressure when I need to deal pressure. Because I do think I want to go mid range here, not necessarily like being control 100% of the time, but leading up to those pivot turns that Bravo so likes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I 100% agree with taking out Staunch Response. If I intimidate 2 or 3 cards and I have a Barraging Beatdown in front of it, and one of your cards is a Staunch Response, you're just getting punished hard for that being in there. And then yeah, Zell's Belting blocking 2 itself is not great when you don't need to be aggroing me down. So yeah, you want to roll off and see who goes first?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, looks like you got 10 to my 6.
Right. I will have the play. Good luck, have fun.
Yeah, good luck, have fun. Yeah, I agree. Both of us want to go first. Both of us can take advantage of our arsenals, and both of us can also deal damage on turn 1 with Dominate or Intimidate plays. So, yeah,
Mm,
good luck.
You too. Let's see. I'll just start off with the classic Seismic, 2 floating, and Anothos for 6.
Yep, so I will go ahead and block 3 and go to reactions.
I will decide to pummel it.
Oh, wow. I wasn't playing around the pummel, that's pretty good. So I will Sink Below, and then I like keeping these cards in the deck. I don't necessarily want to be playing them on the first time around. And then pass back to you.
Oh yeah, that'll be all for me. I
So
will
I'll
just,
take 3.
and I will Arsenal and pass.
Cool. I will draw up at the end of your turn. I'll put Tunic on 1. So I don't have very many combo plays here, and I like keeping Tear Limb from Limb for the late game when I know I can pitch 6 damage cards around it to guarantee the double effect. So I think I'm just going to pitch this to the bottom and club for 4.
Okay, club for 4. I think I'll go ahead and I will block 6 here.
Sounds good. I have no reactions.
Right? No reactions on it, right?
All right, I will Arsenal. and pass.
Seismic will pop, and then I'll just go ahead and do Seismic Amethyst for 6 to float.
I'll block 6 here.
Alright, no reactions.
Cool. All right, Tunic's gonna go to 2. I'm still not getting any combo cards, anything that lets me discard cards, so I'm just gonna be throwing out another attack, getting this beast within to the bottom, and hitting you for 6 with an intimidate trigger. So I'll just intimidate like this, and then you can keep it in your hand or do what you want. And then
This will be
swing
the
it for
Intimidate
6.
card. Coming me for 6. I think I'll go ahead and I'll move to reactions,
Sure.
and I'll go ahead and Favor Scene. I'll block 4. I'll opt, leave that on top, and I'll take 2.
Sounds good. I will pass and draw 4.
Seismic will pop. I'll go ahead, pitch Amethyst for 6, 2 floating.
I will move to reactions.
No reactions.
Wait for scene. That's awesome. So I have a pretty cool turn coming up, and Fate for Scene when I have a Blood Rush Bellow coming up is nice to make sure I draw something cool. So I'm going to leave that on top. Do you have any reactions?
I'll just Sigil,
Okay. And then
and that'll
I
be it.
will take 2.
Arsenal path.
All right. My Tunic will hit 3. I could use Tunic to play Blood Rush Bellow, but instead I'm going to pitch the blue to guarantee that I have 2 resources floating and I discard my red. So my last card is discarding a 6 power. So Rhinar's ability will intimidate once. And then because of Blood Rush Bellow, I discarded a 6 power. I will draw 2 cards and Blood Rush Bellow will gain go again. Well, that's not necessarily what I wanted to see. So I can still have a pretty good turn if I just pitch this red to the bottom and then Massacre. So I've discarded a 6 or more, so Massacre will gain +2 and Intimidate one more time. And then it'll get +2 from Blood Rush Bellow. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and one more Intimidate. And I have nothing floating and 1 card in hand.
What I'm thinking is here, I'll just move to reactions.
Sure.
And I'll Favor Scene.
Okay.
I'll block 4. I'll leave that one on top, and I'll take 6 unless you have any further
Yep,
reactions.
I'm good. Yeah, so this was the card I saw off the top. If I could have
Yeah,
drawn another 6 power with this, it would have been pretty awesome. I could have done that go again into a club, but instead I did not, so I arsenaled that other card. But I'm still getting lots of 6 powers to the bottom after the Tear Limb from Limb, so that might be a pretty good turn coming up in the late game.
for sure. Let's see. Seismic will pop. I'll decide to dominate and spinal. 9 dominate.
9 dominate. So you have nothing floating, so you're not going to pummel me. I will block 3 and go to reactions.
No reactions.
And Springboard Somersault from Arsenal, blocking 7 total, taking 2.
Sounds good. Then I'll go ahead and Arsenal path.
Cool. All right, I will just Barraging Beatdown. I'll intimidate once, and then Romping Club, 1 floating. So this is going to be for 4 or 8 if you block with less than 2 non-equipment cards.
4 or 8. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and block 3, and then moving to reactions,
Sure.
I'll go ahead and sink below,
Okay.
and I will sink and draw.
Sounds good. So that is fully blocked. I will pass and arsenal.
Oof. My turn, I'll go ahead and create a seismic, pitching a sink below, and then I'll sigil,
Okay.
and then I'll pass to you.
Sounds good. Yeah, this hand is very awkward because both of my potential discard effects can't be played without a guaranteed hit on my discard. Like there's a miss. So if I were to play this card, I would potentially discard this card, and then if I pitch one of these blues to play this card, one of the other ones could have gotten discarded as well instead of my 6 power. And both of those make the turn fall pretty flat, and I can't under or over pitch one of them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Goliath Gauntlet and then pitch a blue to Command and Conquer and try to draw some better combo next turn. So this is going to be Command and Conquer for 8, meaning he has to block with 2 cards in equipment or 3 cards, and I get another chance to do something cool next turn.
Hmm. Yes, I think have to be a bit patient here. I'll block 8.
Sounds good. I will pass.
Seismic will pop. I was actually gonna have a pretty decent turn as well. I have a spinal in hand. I'm gonna go ahead and create the seismic, and then Anothos for 6. Non-floating though.
Um, yep, I'll go ahead and block this for 3. Any reactions?
No reactions.
Take 3. Yeah, so since he presented damage this time, I'm able to filter my hand so that my discard effects actually can get played, um, which is good.
Here you go.
All right, it will go to me. I'm going to play Bloodrush Bellow, pitching a blue, 2 floating. I have to discard a random card. It hits a 6 power, so I will intimidate once, and then draw 2 cards and gain go again. I don't necessarily want to pitch this to the bottom next to the other copy of it. And I, again, can't play this card without a guaranteed hit. But I'm okay with arsenaling either of these other 2 cards, so I think I might actually just risk it. It's okay if it doesn't hit go again. I'll get one of the other cards out. If it does hit go again, it's a pretty great turn. If it doesn't, then I'm okay and I just arsenal one of my other cards. Okay, yeah, so I rolled on the 50-50 there. It paid off, so this is going to be for, I'll intimidate one more card, and then this is going to be for 8 damage with go again.
I'll go ahead and block 3 of it. Any reactions?
No reactions?
I'll take 5.
Okay. I did say earlier I didn't want to pitch these next to each other, but getting another 7 damage off seems pretty valuable, given that he only has 1 card left and it seems like he doesn't want to block with it. But yeah, I'll attack for, this gets +1 because I discarded a 6, and it's still getting +2 from Bloodrush Bellow, so this is going to be for 7.
I think I'll just go ahead and block with it, and I'll take 5 more.
Okay, sounds good. I will pass the turn and draw 4.
Seismic will pop. And then Anothos for 4.
Okay. I have a pretty good turn coming up, and if I block this, I might not be able to arsenal something, so I'm just going to say no blocks. Any reactions?
No reactions.
Sounds good. I'm relatively confident he doesn't have a pummel here in his arsenal. That thing's been stuck there for a while. I don't know exactly what it is. It might be a crippling crush or maybe a bigger defense react like unmovable. but we'll see eventually, I'm sure. So I'm going to start with the Gorganian Tome, and then I will play a Barrage and Beatdown, intimidate once. And then I will play Smash Instinct, intimidate another time. So a big strength with Rhinar into control heroes or heroes like Bravo, where they want to block with specific cards, is my intimidate math. Even if I don't push damage through, it can really force him to block uncomfortably. Like you might have to block with a big crush just because the extra 3 damage off barraging beatdown is pretty relevant. So even though I might not push damage, I might get some threats out of his deck. So this is going to be for 6 or a 9 if you block with less than 2 non-equipment cards.
I'll go ahead and block 6.
Okay, sounds good. I have no reactions, and I'll Arsenal and pass. So it looks like that time he had some non-important cards left in hand, but it doesn't always end up that way.
See. Think I'm gonna go ahead, pitch, create a seismic, and Amethyst for 4.
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely grinding us down with the hammer. Keeping the life totals very close, even though I've been doing all my attacks and he's just been hammering. Okay, I'm gonna filter my hand here. It's gonna be a little inefficient, but I'm gonna go to reactions
Sure.
and springboard somersault. So I will take 2. You have nothing?
Nope. Here you go.
Alrighty. I'm gonna start with a barraging beatdown blue, intimidate once. And then I'm gonna play a sand sketch plan. So I did have a nice stack with Terra Limb from Limb with a bunch of 6 powers, but then I had 2 reckless swings next to each other. So I'm not necessarily upset about having to shuffle my deck here. And then we'll see what I hit off of this sand sketched plan. Okay. Running a little bit hot with the discards today. I hit the Beast Within, so that's 1 more Intimidate, and then I will activate Beast Within. So I have to lose 1 life, banish the top card, put it into my hand if it has 6 or more damage, otherwise I repeat. So I will lose 1 life, banish the top card. It has 6 or more damage, that goes to my hand. That was the last card out of my hand. And I do technically have 2 action points. I don't think I can afford to use them, but 1 action point is enough. I'll go ahead and take advantage of the Massacre and this stale Tunic counter that's been sitting there for a while. So pitching a yellow in the Tunic counter. I've discarded a 6, so Massacre is going to get +2 and Intimidate 1 more time. So this is going to be for 6, 7, 8, or 10 if you block with less than 2 cards. And I have 1 action point floating behind this.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take the 10.
Jeez, okay. I will have to pass and Arsenal.
Oof. Seismic will pop. Yeah, I'll go ahead and create a seismic and Anathos for 6. Non-floating.
Interesting. So this doesn't necessarily threaten a pummel. He didn't voluntarily take 10 damage there last turn. He just had 1 card left in hand. I'm betting it was this Crippling Crush because he didn't want to block with it. If he took extra damage, maybe I'd be worried about pummel here. But as of right now, it's just for 6.
Correct.
So I'm going to take an opportunity to upgrade my arsenal since I don't have a super high impact play next turn. I suppose I could have used this and then Alpha Rampaged, but I would have been left with no card, or the extra card rather, I would have been left with would have just stuck in hand. So uh, it would be high damage, but I think I'm okay with this. So I'm going to block 6 here.
Yep, sounds good. No reactions.
Cool. Unit counter is going to go to 1. I'm just going to play Pack Hunt from Arsenal, pitching Beast Within.
No
Oh,
intimidate.
so yeah, sorry, 1 Intimidate built in, and it's just going to be 6 damage.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll block 6.
Awesome. I will Arsenal and pass. Yeah, even though we're both getting low, because of how defensive we can both become, I think we can still get to the second cycle. So I think I'm happy pitching that Beast Within to the bottom and trying to set something up with it potentially.
For my turn, I'll just create a seismic with a red pummel and pass to you.
Interesting. Tunic is going to get to 2. I will start with the red barraging, intimidate once, and then breakneck battery, pitching a blue, 1 floating, discarding a card. So my last card is a 6, and a Massacre has built in, if it's discarded to pay the cost of a brute attack, it intimidates. So I'll intimidate 2 more, 1 from Rhinar and 1 from Massacre. And this is going to be for 6 or 10 from Barrage and Beatdown. Fortunately, I don't have 1 more Tunic counter to be able to Romping Club after this, but 10 damage is a lot, considering I don't think this card in the arsenal is a defense reaction.
Uh, that is fair
Maybe
to
it is.
say. I will take the 10. Go ahead
All
and
right,
8.
I will pass.
I'll go ahead and pitch these 2 things and play Rouse, revealing the Crippling and that.
Okay, so you're not going to have anything floating. You're just going to hammer me. The hammer's only going to hit for 4 unless you also pitch Crippling to make a seismic. And I have a pretty bonkers turn, so I'm actually going to say no blocks. Do you have any
Alright.
reactions?
No reactions.
I'll take 7
Alright.
or
And
16.
then I'll go ahead and Anathos for 4.
Okay, I will say no blocks. Any reactions?
Nope.
Take 4.
They'll pass to you,
Okay.
Arsenal.
So he has Crippling Crush now. We know in his arsenal. He doesn't have a seismic, but this turn is kind of nuts. So Tunic goes to 3. I will do double barraging beatdown.
In response
Oh
to one of
yeah.
the,
Sorry.
I
Yeah,
will
let's.
signal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So any other responses?
No responses.
Okay.
So I guess just 2
I'll
intimidates.
take another one. Oh yeah, because you responded to the first one.
Yeah.
And then I will use my Tunic counter. Use the resource to Blood Rush Bellow, discarding the last card, which is a 6. I'll intimidate 1 more time and draw 2. All right. This is kind of nuts. All right. 1 more barraging beatdown. You have no cards left to intimidate, and then Romping Club. This is going to be for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yikes, so I do have to block this of everything. Let's see if I actually do survive though. So I
Uh,
got 2, 3, 5.
yeah, so 17 to your 5 will kill you
Yeah,
by
GG's.
1 extra point.
Oof.
Jeez. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it became a little high rolly there at the end. Getting a turn like this is insane, especially because I had just shuffled. I didn't set this up. Um, but throughout the game, you could see the kind of pressure. Jasiel wasn't able to set up any big turns because he kept having to block awkwardly or take a ton of damage to do something of his own on the swing back.
yeah,
So,
I definitely think having that Rouse stuck in Arsenal was definitely really bad for
mm,
me. I think there was that one turn that I think kind of nailed the coffin a bit, which was where the Command and Conquer turn for Goliath Gauntlet. Yeah, that one was very tough decision, I guess, making for me in
yeah,
that moment because I actually would have. So I actually did have enough to in my hand to rouse, go again, and then spinal. That was my hand essentially. So I could have roused, go again, spinal.
mm,
And probably what I should would have done was actually just kind of block with my equipment, so I could just block with my equipment and then 1 card in hand. And so that gets my rouse out of arsenal, and then
yeah,
at most I either just Anathos for 6 after that, and then Arsenal to Spinal, because then that Rouse being in like Arsenal for so long prevented me from putting the sinks and the fates I was drawing. And whenever your Intimidates went off, like you would actually like also have very good choice of what card to banish, which was like my sinks. And I'm like, oh, Fred, I need
yeah,
those.
definitely. Yeah, putting the Rouse in the arsenal is definitely risky. I feel like there's lots of matchups where it can get stuck like that. but it's also very tempting because playing Rouse from the Arsenal is just such a big damage turn. That was a
Hmm.
quick game, and it was kind of there was a lot of RNG involved. Do you want to actually play another one?
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah,
What
sure.
do you think? Do you think Zealous would be a better alternative to Rouse, or do you think having that blue count could come in handy for some situations?
Yeah, I think I probably keep the blue count in the deck, especially because if you're forced to not block with anything because I intimidate your whole hand, then you have the blues to support a Crippling Crusher or like a bigger turn. Um, Yeah, I think it's just something that I wouldn't be arsenaling, but still is a good card to pitch. And also something I didn't mention at the beginning of the game is I'm running over 60 cards just because fatigue is definitely a factor. With half of my stuff requiring me to discard an extra card to play it, I can definitely burn through my deck if I'm not careful. And if I don't set up a combo and Hasiel chooses to just block everything all game long, I might just deck myself before I can potentially kill him. So that's why I'm actually running over 60. It looks like Casio is running flat 60, but that's because he can easily fatigue me if I'm not careful.
Hmm.
So yeah, do
Sounds
you want
good.
to roll again?
Yep, I'd be down roll again. Let's see here. Ooh,
Nice roll.
I'll go first.
Sounds good.
Good
Good luck,
luck and
have
have
fun.
fun. Thank you. I'll go ahead pitch Seismic and Anothos for 6.
I'll go ahead and block like this. Block
All right,
6.
sounds good. No reactions. Pass.
Cool. I will draw 2 on the end of your turn. And on my turn, I will put a counter on Tunic. So I think I'm going to start with the Barraging Beatdown. Do you have any responses?
No response.
One Intimidate. I will do another one. And then Intimidate again. And then I will just club. So this is basically means he has to block with 2 cards, otherwise, like this is so much damage. And that means he'll have less cards on his next turn to do something to me, and I can potentially get this off on the next turn.
Hmm.
So this is going to be 4 or 12
Yeah,
if you block with less than 2 cards.
yep, you are right about that. I'll go ahead and block it.
Cool.
Mm,
I will. That is fully blocked, and I will pass an Arsenal.
I think I'll just pitch Seismic and pass.
Sounds good. My Tunic will go to 2. So there's 2 lines I can do here. One is to play this card for my arsenal, pitching these 2 in the middle, and then whichever one of these other ones is not discarded, I arsenal, which is not necessarily the worst arsenal targets. The other option is to actually play this card, pitching this card, um, and then discarding one of these 2, and the other one will definitely let me club. So if I do that, it will be 4 damage and then club for 5, which is a total of 9. And I keep this card arsenaled, or the other way, uh, the same amount of damage, but my arsenal card is random. So I think I'm actually going to go with this. I've convinced myself. So I'm going to play that, pitch a yellow. I'll have 1 floating. As an additional cost to play it, I discard a random card. Uh, Not necessarily happy to discard that, but I have others in the deck. So that will hit 1 Intimidate. Do you have any reactions to the Intimidate?
No reactions.
Okay. Intim 1. And then this is just going to be for 4 damage with go again.
No blocks. Any reactions?
No reactions.
I'll take 4.
Sounds good. And then I will Romping Club, which gets powered up from my discard effect. So it's going to be for 5 damage.
I'll take 5.
Okay, cool. I will pass.
Let's see. Seismic will pop. And then I'll go ahead and I'll be pitching 6 and disable, coming at you for 8. No dominate, 2 floating.
Yeah, this is really nice. So the 2 floating potentially represents a pummel. And I have lots of things that I don't want to discard. And the thing with disable is the arsenal card goes to the bottom. So that's not actually the worst outcome. But how do I play around the pummel? I don't know if this is the right decision, but I'm actually not going to block this. Do you have any reactions?
Yep. I will blue palm it, so
Right.
bumping up to 10.
Yep. So I'm gonna take 10. That puts me to 30. My arsenal card will go to the bottom. Uh, and then I will discard. Yep, I will discard this.
Sounds good. And then I'll Arsenal pass on 2.
Cool. My tunic's gonna go to 3. Um, I think the reason I wanted to do this was that the card that I went to the bottom, I'm cool with that being next to this card, and then it still allowed me to do this, and then discard my last card, which is a 6 power. So 2 intimidates are going to go on the stack, and this is going to be for 9 damage.
Hmm. See.
So this is a pretty close to
Um,
even trade on damage, depending on if he blocks or not. And then I do end up with one less card because I had to arsenal and another less card because I had to discard, but we still traded kind of fairly there. I'm not sure if that was completely right, since the disable wasn't dominated, but I didn't necessarily want to lose too many of these cards from my deck. So yeah, I'll end my turn and draw 4.
my turn, I'll keep it simple and seismic Anothos for 6.
I think I'm going to take an opportunity to set up my arsenal, so I'm going to block 6 here. Any reactions?
No reactions.
Okay. I'll use my tunic to gain a resource, then pitch a red, and club for 4. So putting another 6 power down next to my other stuff, getting an interesting pitch stack started, and then getting this card into arsenal.
I'll go ahead and take the 4.
Okay, cool. I will arsenal and pass.
Reasonable pop. And yep, I'll go ahead and create a seismic. And Anothos for 6. 2 float.
Lots of weapon usage this game. So I'm gonna block with these 2 cards. I didn't have a guaranteed turn next turn. That would have been big, and I didn't necessarily want to take a risk. So I'm just gonna be solid and block 6 here.
I'll just leak 2 damage over with a blue pummel.
Okay, I will not react and take 2.
And I'll sigil.
Nice. That makes
And
sense why all those extra cards were in there.
here you go.
Okay, Tunic will go to 1. I'll start with a Barrage and Beatdown. Any reactions or
No
instants?
reactions.
Cool.
Nope.
I'll Intimidate once. And then I'm gonna club for 4 or 7.
I'll take 7.
Okay, I will pass.
Create seismic. Spinal for 9. No dominate.
Okay. So I'm gonna see. You have used 2 blue pummels so far. Could that be a red pummel? So the turn you hammered me and hit me with the blue pummel, you pitched a blue disable and another blue attack. I think if this arsenal card was a red pummel, you actually would have disabled me and then pummeled. I don't remember if this is the same arsenal card, but I'm like a good percent sure that that's what happened. So I'm gonna take the bet that that's not a red pummel. I'm not gonna try to play around it, and I just have to block 6. I will block here and go to reactions.
No
No.
reactions. Oh.
Oh, you hovered the hand over there. Okay, I'll block.
No.
Sorry, did I say block? I'll block 3 and then go to reactions and block 4 more for 7.
Sure. I'll go ahead and sigil.
Yes. Oh, that scared me so much.
Yeah. And that'll be all.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna take 2.
And then I'll Arsenal and pass.
All right. My tuning counter will go to 2. I will start with a Gorganian Tome, so I'll draw 1. Interesting. Not very good. I will go ahead and... So I can't put pressure on him this turn. That's that amazing. So I definitely want to end with this card in my arsenal. which basically gives me the only option is to club for 4, see if I can chip some damage in. These cards are not the worst on the bottom, and mostly I just want this card in my arsenal. So Romping Club for 4.
I'll take 4.
All right, I will arsenal and pass.
Seismic will pop.
Uh-oh. I drew the most amazing hand.
Nice. Go ahead, create a seismic. And Bucking Blow coming at you for 6, 2 floating, no dominate.
Yes, very interesting. No dominate. All right, so what a weird hand. If it's a red pummel, if it's a red pummel, it could go up to 10. If it's a blue, it could go up to 8. I definitely don't want to be losing a counter on one of my equipments because that's actually like losing 2 health if a counter goes onto my skull cap or leathers, because I can only block with them one more time for 1. So I definitely want to be blocking at least 7. But do I want to play around both colors of pummel? This is a fresh arsenal, and he didn't have a chance to use that if it was a red pummel on the other turn because he couldn't pay for it. It was in his hand. So it potentially could be a red pummel, or this card in his hand could be a red pummel. And he does have 1 sigil left in the deck. This is a tough one though. Not to mention my hand is still very weird. So I'm gonna start by blocking 3 and then go to reactions.
I'll pummel it, make it 10.
What is 10? So I will start with a Fate Foreseen. That's cool. I want that in my hand, and then I will sink below and bottom a card. So blocking 11.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll Arsenal pass.
So this wouldn't have been as good value, this blocking plan I did, because I blocked 11. If he had the blue pummel, I would have ended up having to use one of these defense reacts instead of discarding a card, which would have been less efficient. But since it was a red, it was a little bit more efficient. And then I'm going to hit my Tunic to 3, and then pitch this to Romping Club for 4.
Up for
What an
4.
insane hand.
Let's see. I think I want to do this. I'll go ahead and move to reactions and
Sure.
sink below.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna go ahead and no sink.
Okay. I will pass and arsenal.
Seismic will pop. Then I'll go ahead pitching 6 more. Disable for 8, 2 floating, no dominate.
Jeez. All these 2 floating resources. All right, I'm going to block 6. Any reactions?
I'll pummel.
Yep, so this is now 12. Yeah, so card's going to get discarded if I don't fully block it. I'll go up to 10 and opt. That can stay on top. You're still going to hit me for 2. I would have to discard, so I might as well use this anyways.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to activate the sink, and then pass.
That's good. Here you go.
So he ends his turn with no arsenal, which makes it a little bit okay that I'm going to end with no arsenal. I'm just going to play this energy potion and then pass. Yeah, this sink below was in my hand with so many other defense reactions and a defense reaction. I think I had 4 total defense reactions looking in my face on that turn, the turn before this last one.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is pretty good. Not my hand though. My hand is weird again. Uh, yikes.
Yeah, we're not to the second cycle yet, I'm pretty sure, so there's still chances for Bravo to draw just awkward hands.
Yeah, for sure. I think I just want to pretty much just create a seismic
Yep.
and Anathos for 4, 2 float.
All right, pitching a blue pummel to do this, so that's your third blue pummel. You could red pummel this, but that seems like a really bad value out of the red pummel. This tells me that you might have like, I don't even know. This is interesting. I think he has a fate or a sync at least. At least cards that don't cost 3, so he's not powering his Anothos up to 6. I could have a triple intimidate next turn if I blocked with this card, played these 2 cards, and then got Beast Within off of this card. No matter what I got off the Beast Within, I could use that plus the Tunic counter to Romping Club. That's 3 intimidates, but it's not a very great turn at all if Arsenal's a fate or a sync. So I don't really want to go for that. Instead, what I'm going to try to do is absorb some damage and block 3. You have any reactions?
Oh, no reactions.
Okay, so I'll take 1.
Pass.
Okay. I will do a barraging beatdown using this. And then I will use this and Romping Club for 4 or 7.
4 or 7. Think I'll go ahead and block 3, then moving to
Yep,
reactions. Sink below.
sounds
No
good.
sinking.
Yep, that's fully blocked. I will Arsenal and pass.
And my turn, I will seismic Anathos for 6, 2 float.
Cool. Okay, so I think I'm facing the same thing where this last card could potentially be a fade or a sync. If it was a blue, he actually could have Tear Asunder hammered me this turn, which would have been pretty good. I would have taken the damage because I would have had to take the effect if I didn't have a defense reaction, because my skull cap is not turned on, or I would have had to block with everything plus my tunic, and it's still a little bit early to do that. So I'm facing almost the same exact decision where I think this might be a fate or a sync, but it could also be a threat. Uh, Neither one of these cards is great in the arsenal, at least for now. Tear Asunder is better in the late game. Um, so I think I actually am going to try to go for the higher pressure play, and I'll say no blocks. Any reactions?
No reactions.
Okay, so I will take 6.
Arsenal pass.
Okay. Yep, so I will start with Barrage and Beatdown. Any reactions?
No reactions.
I'll Intimidate. And then Breakneck Battery, pitch a yellow, and then essentially discard one of these. All right, hits my yellow. So I'll Intimidate one more time, and Breakneck Battery will gain go again. I'll Intimidate, discard in hand. So this is going to be for 6 or 8 with go again.
No blocks. Reactions.
No reactions.
I'll take 8.
Okay. Yeah, so looking at my hand, I actually could have blocked with this yellow because discarding this card off of that would have been even better if he had chosen to block. And then I could have used my energy potion to attack with Romping Club. But in general, this energy potion is reserved to play Tear Limb from Limb. That's my understanding. So this could have been okay as well. And then with Go again, since he's not blocking, I'm going to get in a little bit more damage. Use my tuning counter in a red to Romping Club for 5.
See, I'm gonna get some skull cap value right now.
Yep, that
I'll
makes
block
sense.
2 of it and take 3. 1,
All right,
2, 3.
sounds good. Yeah, so I am in big trouble next turn. I don't have a defense reaction. Take a big hit. We'll see what happens.
I'll just Anathos for 4. Here you go.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I'm doing the classic seismic, dominate, crippling crush, 11
Yeah.
dominate.
So I'm looking at if I just take the entire 11 damage, what's the worst turn I can do? And I actually have some pretty good turns available to me. I think it's probably unacceptable to just take 11 damage here. I think I'm gonna at least block for 3. I can't, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could block the crush if I gave all of my equipment plus a card. Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't used any other cripplings yet, and he just arsenaled that card recently. That could just straight up be another crippling crush. So I think I'm gonna reserve the equipment. I'll go ahead and block with this card. The reason I'm blocking with this card is because that's the only one where that's left in my hand. I can't club next turn. So this blocks 3. I'm going to take 8 and go to 11. And then I have to discard 2 cards. Whoops. All right. That's actually kind of cool. I never had this interaction happen, but I believe this will trigger Beast Within. Yeah,
Um,
hopefully I'm doing this correct, but I think this triggers Beast Within because it didn't come from the combat chain, it came from my hand.
okay.
So I'm gonna take 1 damage, banish the top card. This card is gonna go to hand. Jeez, that's kind of nuts. And
Well,
then, yeah, that's my turn. Or that's your turn. You're
yeah.
just gonna go to 1. Because of that draw, that's pretty great. I'm gonna Goliath Gauntlet and then play it. So Command and Conquer for 8. I don't want him to keep momentum. I want him to have to block here, so we'll see what happens. He can still block with 1 card plus all of his equipment, but that's kind of a win too, getting equipment off of him if he's really having to protect this arsenal.
Oof. I think I'll go ahead and block 8.
Okay, cool. I will pass.
And my turn, I'm going to just Anathos for 4.
Hmm. I don't remember seeing you pitch any red pummels, so if this is a red pummel, you could be hitting me for 10. I think I'm gonna block 6 here. I'm pretty low. I want to play around the pummel, I think.
Sure. I'll just sigil.
That's pretty good.
Here you go.
Yeah, so
Like, there probably was like me signaling probably is also like sort of this thing where it's like now my skull cap is not activated,
yeah,
but I hate having that stuck in hand though. I feel like that would
yeah.
not be good.
That's your 3rd sigil, so life total is locked aside from Tome of Fyendal. Um, it's kind of cool, but yeah, so my turn is just going to be Romping Club for 4.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move to reactions
Sure.
and I'll fade for scene,
Oh, okay.
blocking 4,
Sounds
opt,
good.
on top.
Um, did I miss my tunic counter this turn?
I don't remember actually. But if you
I think
want
I
you can
did,
go
but I'm
2 of
gonna
it.
leave it at 2.
Sure.
I think I did miss it, but I'm gonna leave it at 1. I'll
Alright,
Arsenal and pass.
that's good. Go ahead, pitch. Seismic. Anathos for 6, non-float.
Oh man, this is gonna become kind of grindy. I'm gonna block 6. Any reactions?
No reactions.
Okay.
Arsenal.
I'm going to pitch a yellow. Oh, I definitely missed my tunic counter this turn. And then Romping Club for 4.
Alright.
Jeez. This is kind of a good card to keep in hand. It's a 6 power and it's a blue, so maybe it'll enable a good turn next turn.
Fair enough. I think I'll go ahead and move to reactions
Yeah.
and favor scene.
Okay.
Blocking 4. Leave this one on top.
Sounds good. I will pass and draw 3.
Alright. Seismic will pop. And I'll go ahead and yep. I'll go ahead and seismic Anthos for 6. 2 float.
Yeah, this late game is very reminiscent of the Guardian Mirror late game where we're just hammering until we can wait for a setup. And we'll see who gets a good turn set up first. But I think I will block 3 and go to reactions.
No reactions.
I will sink below, and I will not think anything.
Sounds good. I'll Arsenal and pass.
Fully blocked. Junior counter is going to go to 3. I'm just going to go and intimidate. It's pack hunt, so 6 damage and 1 intimidate. Do you have anything before the intimidate happens?
No response.
1 intimidate and 6 damage.
Okay. I'll just move to reactions and favor scene. So I'll go
Sure.
ahead and block 4. I'll opt and I'll take 2 unless you have
Okay.
reactions.
Nope. I will Arsenal and pass.
All right. So this is actually my first time doing this combo actually, but it's gonna be Heart of Fyendel, Mage Masters.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I gained that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so nice.
I love it. And then draw 2, gain. Well, yeah, gain
Yeah,
4. And so one,
that's pretty
two,
good.
three, 4. Yeah. Um, one floating. I'll go ahead and create the seismic with the one floating. Then pitching 6 more. Bravos dominate. Spinal 9 and dominate.
And nothing floating. So I'm not playing around Hummel. Go ahead and block 3 and go to reactions.
No reactions.
4 more, so 7 total.
Sounds good.
I'll,
No reactions.
I'll take 2.
All right. Pass. No arsenal.
Okay. I'm going to play Blood Rush Bellow, pitching a Beast Within, 1 floating, and discarding a Beast Within. So I'm going to draw 2 first. I
Okay.
never know what the correct thing is to do, if I should draw 2 first or do Beast Within, but I'm going to draw 2 first. And then also I have to intimidate 1.
Sure.
Then I'm going to start doing Beast Within. So I take 1 damage, exile the top, and then this will go to hand.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. I probably want to keep that around. I'm going to pitch a yellow and throw this out for 6 plus 1 from its own ability, plus 2 from Blood Rush, so 9 total.
Oof. Does this have go again or not really?
No, no go again.
Okay. Think I will go ahead and I'll block 3 of it and taking 6. Is that right?
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I will Arsenal and pass.
Seismic pops. I'll go ahead and pitch 6 and crippling. 11 no dominate.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, this was a really good pressure turn. I'm having to lose a lot of threats right now, so I'm gonna block 3, 4, 5 and go to reactions.
No reactions.
Hold on, you know what?
Sure.
Sorry, I might have a different block.
Sure.
Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. Sounds good. So taking 3
Yep.
and I'll pass.
Yeah, this late game nitty gritty is rough. Where did my? Oh no, that's gone. That's gone. And that's there. Geez, finally. Okay. So yeah, doing that let me do this. It let me keep these threats. Doing that, discarding this last card. This card is going to the bottom. We'll see if I can even set something up on the last cycle of my deck, but this is at least some damage he has to respect. So I'm getting 2 intimidates. Do you have anything before the intimidates happen?
Nope, not at all.
I'll take those two, and it's going to be 9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage. Well, I'll go ahead and I will
Amazing.
blocking 5 and yep, I'll go ahead and take 4. Is that right? Or is
Yep,
that fine? Okay.
yep, that's right. Yeah, so this
Mhm.
play, like I was talking about earlier, it left you with one of your cards in hand that you really don't want to block with, but it's so much damage that you needed to block it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to pass my turn and draw 4.
See. Yeah. And then my turn will just be seismic Athos for 6. 2 floating though.
Sounds good. Yeah, the 2 floating, very scary. I have a big turn next turn, so I will go to reactions.
Sure.
I suppose that can be on the top. And take 2.
Oof, not looking good. Here you go.
I will start with Swing Fist Think Later, pitching a blue, discarding my last card. So
Alright.
I'll intimidate 1. Do you have anything before the intimidate happens?
Nope.
All right. And then this is going to be 4 go again, and I have 2 floating.
Okay. I'll go ahead and block 3. Any reactions?
No reactions.
Take 1.
Okay. And then I'll go for 5. So in this late game, this chip damage where I can do a 4 and a 5 is pretty annoying for him to deal with. And you have to be thinking about Reckless Swing now because the life totals. And I still have all of them in the deck. Oh no, I just have one of them in the deck. But yeah,
For 5, right?
yes.
Hmm. See. Think I'm gonna go ahead and block 3 of it and take 2.
Okay. Yeah, so you choose to ignore my advice to play around Reckless Swing.
That's
Interesting.
right.
Interesting tactic. I'll pass. Jeez.
Yeah, I'll live to regret it probably.
Well, I might be dying to dominated attack.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah,
7 dominate. Yeah, so this is well, it's getting blocked fully, so that's at least good. I'll block 3 and go to reactions.
sure. No reactions.
Reckless Swing. I'll tell you right now, there's 1 miss in these 3.
All
So
right,
I'll
let's do it.
shuffle. You do the honors.
All right.
Ah, I hit.
Oh,
I deal 2 damage to you with Reckless Swing. So
oof.
I will
Yeah,
win. Yeah, I think that was probably that was a little bit questionable because if I have the Reckless Swing, even if I don't kill you with it, then I still live and have a turn next turn. Uh, I definitely don't know if it was right going to 1 life there, but
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think
I
it
was
was a
just
risk you had to take, maybe. You still have Crippling Crushes left in the deck.
yeah.
Still have
Let's see
1
how
Crippling
much
Crush, and
further was I would have been from it. Yeah, like yeah,
oh, you have a Remembrance in there too.
yeah. So that's the one time
But
I
yeah,
pitched to that. Oof.
mm.
Yeah, like
That was a rough game though. That was very back and forth.
no, for sure. Like I'm not used to I think you're the only like Rhinar player I've seen that's definitely like made their deck to be like more defensive than like normal as well. Like
Yeah, this is definitely not my deck. Again, I'm shouting out Yazi. He has a
fair enough.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, this deck is sick. It plays very similar to Bravo actually, which means that it was fun for me to pick it up playing Bravo a lot before this. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's so many defense reactions. It can mean that I can play really defensive against other decks, and even in this matchup, I can play defensively like that, but still get off threats. So it's been a lot of fun to learn this deck and play with it.
No, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. Do you have
Rhinar seems like a
any
lot of fun.
comments or like any maybe interesting decisions that you came across during the game or closing ideas?
Like I definitely think like probably like some decisions like I think I had to probably put more thought into was just like like how I block with my equipment. I think
Hmm.
my decisions with my equipment blocking were probably like important. Biggest examples would probably be like that Rouse the Ancient turn that happened in like our
Yeah.
previous game, and I even think I think some choices too, like with how to like choose what goes in my arsenal sometimes. Like
Mm,
I think I made some searches with like pummels to put in the arsenal, for
yeah.
example, and then um, but there were also just like some like hands I drew that I'm just like I have no idea what to do here because like
Yeah,
to be
definitely some weird
yeah.
hands, and Rhinar punishes those weird hands like so hard sometimes.
Yeah,
For
like there
sure.
were like a couple turns where I would get I think like two D reacts, like two syncs at the same hand. I'm like, oh, this is rough, like that kind
Yeah,
of thing. But
definitely.
it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that second game I felt really in danger towards the end. I think my deck was at like 15 cards. Uh, I think a mistake I made was not doing a little bit more careful of a pitch stack for my Swing Fist Think Later. But even if I did, the turn I drew it, you had Crippling Crush, which was crazy. So that was great. And yeah, just choosing on my side when to use armor as well. Sometimes you just have to take a crush because if you block out the crush, your turn just might not even be good. It might not have been worth it to block out the crush. If you can save your equipment for a better pivot turn to block out the crush on that turn, it's much better. So yeah, just a huge thing playing against Bravo is using your armor specifically when the crush matters. If the crush doesn't affect your next turn in a huge way, it's I would definitely suggest considering taking it, even though it's a lot of damage and it feels really bad. Uh, Bravo might not draw, like Bravo might just draw four blues after that, and you can just get the momentum back for free, or they might draw a couple defense reactions and they'll hammer you for four or for six, and you can just get the momentum back and live to see another day with a full suite of armor. Um, so yeah, using definitely agree. Using the armor in smart ways is important in this matchup, and just getting that back and forth and keeping your fundamentals down. Um, Always important to have a defense reaction in Arsenal. At least that's how I feel with this deck. Um, yeah, those were both really great games.
No, definitely. Yeah, it was nice seeing like a different style of Reiner play here. So I think
Yeah,
I learned a lot too. Yep.
yeah, sounds good. Yep, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Maybe you have some other matchups you're interested in seeing. And yeah, appreciate everyone. Thanks.